Hello world. A very interesting question. So you need to get unlimited user input, but when you needs to stop is that if you get a negative value as an input, you need to stop that getting input from the user. Okay. So you're getting multiple inputs, right? So just you need to store in a list. So I have created a list called AK in the first line itself. After that, I mentioned, right, you need to get an unlimited user input. So you just don't know the number of iterations, so you cannot use for loop, so you just use while loop. So while it is true, when it is true means you just, why I am mentioning true is that you just run this while loop infinite times. When it tries to apply break, you just stop the while loop. When I will apply break is that I just need to get an input from the user every time. So like a is equal to int input of, I means I'm getting an integer value, and if that a is greater than 0, which means if it is positive number or equal to 0. Why? Because they mentioned only if it is a positive number only they have mentioned, so I no need to mention equal to here. So if the a is greater than 0, I just need to convert that value into the list, right? I need to store that value into the list. So how can you store the value in the list? The list name is ak. So dot append method, if you're using now, you will store that value in that list. So ak dot append of the variable name is a. So infinity times I'm getting an user input, and if the user input is greater than 0, I need to store in the list. Else if the a value is less than 0, what you needs to do is that just stop the while loop. How can you stop the while loop? Use break. The while loop will get stopped. So these are the basic things. And the step 2 is, what you needs to do is, they're asking you to print in an ascending order. So right, so if here's you see 10 20 20 sorry 10 30 25 40 and 20. If minus 5 is getting as an input value and checking it is greater than 0, it's not greater than 0, so it will not get added in the list, right? Instead it will terminate the while loop, so this value will not be inside the list. I hope you understood. So these values only will be stored in the list. So the next thing what you need to do is that you need to make the list in an ascending order. So how can you do that? How can you make the list in an ascending order? You just need to sort the list. Okay, how to sort the list? You just use the method ak dot sort of. This method will sort the list. After that, what you need to do is that you just print the list. It will return the result as 10 20 25 30 and 45. So the next thing is this is obtained, and the next thing is you need to print the sum. Okay, you just print inside double quotes, you just print sum is and use comma. Here you need to print the sum of the list. How can you print the sum of the list? You just simply print sum of ak. This will return the sum of the list. So that's it. So let's start programming. Okay, let me start coding for this question. Actually what I have is that I just need to create an empty list. Why? Because I need to store the multiple values in the list. So again, what needs to do is that I just need to get multiple inputs and I don't know the number of iteration I'm gonna take, so I just using while. Okay, while if it is true, you just run, which is nothing but if it will run infinite times. Okay, and also I need to get an input from the user each time. It should be an integer. Input of, sorry, okay. And if it is greater than 0, what I need to do is that I just need to append in the list. I'm using append method to insert this A into the list. Else, if it is not positive number, if it is less than 0, what I need to do is that I need to break this while loop. Okay, I'm just printing the list elements first. Okay, before that printing the list elements, I need to sort, right? So ak dot sort of function, just running and just giving. So I'm giving a negative number here. So what happens? The while loop stops and returns the returns the ascending order. So again I want to print is that, so print some of these elements, right? You just give I'm just mentioning sum is comma sum of AK. So that's all. I'm just running again. 30, 50, 20, 60, minus 3. So what happens? It gives the sorted list and also it prints the sum of the elements. Hope you guys are understood this question. Thanks for watching.